Look, y'all, I'm not trying to beat y'all over the head with this Central Park 5 thing, but it's just so many strange things about this case. Um, so many strange things about this case. I want you to listen to what the guy who they pinned, as the ringleader, kind of the whole rape of Trisha Mealy. I want y'all to hear what he says about his father.
They went here so you go home. They asked to speak to my father. My father left the room with them. Came back in the room, he just changed. Cursing, yelling at me. And he said, tell these people they went here so you go home. I was like, Dad, but I ain't do anything. The police yelling at me, father yelling at me. And I just like, all right, I did it. And I looked up to my father. He's my hero. But he gave up on me. I was telling the truth. He just told me to lie.
Did you ever make peace with your father?
No.
Your father, you were in jail for rape, which is not like uncommon. Men are going to go to jail for rape in 1974, 1984, 1960s, like up through up. You didn't do it. Your father told you to tell the police a lie that you did it so you could go home. But if you tell them you did a rape, you're not going home. It's just so many crazy. This is bizarre. Now I don't know if this is true or not because I wasn't there, and but this is what he's saying, and I take these guys at their word. I don't put any words in their mouth. A lot of people say, "Well, you just trying." If you watch any of my videos, I've taken every word they said as true. If they've been convicted of anything or anything been not sounding right, it's something they said. That's odd though, that a black father would tell his black son to admit who's arrested for a various amount of crimes, like not just rape, but tons of crimes. You erased, like, just basically like assault, battery, robbery, all these crimes in the night. And he tells you to say that you raped a woman. It wouldn't matter if it was a white woman. Brothers go to jail for raping black women all the time. If you ain't never been to jail, all you weirdos, I don't know where you. Now, I'm not saying you're weird because you never been to jail. I'm just saying you're just weird. Like, a black man never go to jail if he do something to a black. The jail full of Negroes that does. I mean, it's literally full. Like that, 95% of the murders of black people are committed against other black people. The jail is full. Most of the robberies are committed within a 3 mile radius of the person's home or something. So, or in the zip code, the adjacent zip codes of the person who. You always, all this crime is being done against black people. Some of it's being done against white people. It's just so much of it that a lot of white people get caught up with it because there's so much crime coming out of the community. But even if you had raped a black woman, you going to jail. Like all the time. It's a phone book full of dudes' names that's in jail for raping black women. Hitting black women. Like, listen, it's so many dudes in there just for hitting black women, pushing them, restraining them dirt. Are you like rape? Oh my God! So like, I'm not even gonna get to the fact that she's white, but your father told you to. It just, I don't know, man. Get in the comments. Make sure you hit the like button. It's very important that you guys hit the like button too. It's very important that you guys hit the like button. Let's listen to this one more time though, because
They asked to speak to my father.
the
My father
police.
left the room with them. Came back in the room, he just changed. cursing, yelling at me. And he said, tell these people what they want to hear so you go home. I was like, Dad, but I ain't do anything. The police yelling at me, father yelling at me. And I just like, all right, I did it. And I looked up to my father. He's my hero.
There's so many other options. There's I didn't do it. You get released on personal recognizance as a minor, or you get released on with a bond. Depends on the state or the jurisdiction you're in, or you go to juvenile hall, whatever. You're away from that situation. They're on to the other 8 billion crimes they're investigating, and you go. You get a court appointed lawyer. You meet with her, or you get a paid lawyer. You meet with them, whatever, and you fight the case. Like, and I'm speaking to somebody who's been through this stuff, not for no rape or nothing like that, but just like robbery, all the same stuff these kids are doing, stealing. Like this, it doesn't stop. Like it's like, okay, like your parent, like you don't have to tell them that you did it for them to let you. Like, nah, I ain't do it. We know you did it anyway. But they ain't gonna say that. They're just gonna handcuff you and take you to your cell. Like, they've already arrested you for it. They don't need a confession. They've arrested you for it. Now it goes to court. Okay, and if they need a confession, your dad's there, and he tells you to tell him you committed a rape that you didn't commit. It just sounds so preposterous. And I'm not saying he committed it. He was there. We know he was in the park that night, but I'm not saying that he committed it. He says he didn't do it. That's like, you have so many other options. Just like, nah, I didn't do it. And then they're like, well, let my son go. Like your father did. Like, he comes in the room. I mean, nah, it ain't like I don't. You confess. Most confessions are people who are scared, and they just confessing because they're scared. They think that they like it's for like first 48. And I know these kids were very young at the time, but kids, you never tell the police you did something you didn't do. Now, I've never heard of that. I ain't even gonna lie. I've never heard of somebody saying they did something they didn't do, let alone that thing being the bloody assault with a woman who's currently, at this time when he was saying this, was in a coma after being brutally raped by a group of teens.
But he gave up on me. I was telling the truth. He just told me to lie.
Did you ever make peace with your father?
No. Didn't want to. My life is ruined. Why should I? He's a coward. They asked to speak to my father.
Black fathers get a bad rap. This is making this his father dead. I just can't see in America in the 80s a black father, son, tell him you in New York City, not in some back road town in Mississippi where they got one stoplight and the sheriff is cousins with the DA and the judge is they cousin through incest. In New York City, there's a revolving door at the prison. Like, it's a revolving door for crimes far heinous than this. Like, this ain't nothing. There wasn't nothing. This was just... Yeah, she got it. Don't get me wrong, she got it bad, but this type of stuff in New York happens all the time, like all the time. And it wasn't this yet. Like, we look at it like the Central Park judge at that time when he's confessed, it wasn't this. It it wasn't all this yet. It's kind of like how we look at stories and whatnot. Like that we never, like, you know what I mean? Like we look on, like, whatever story's hot now. It wasn't that then at the time when they did it. Like even look at Michael Jordan. He went number 3 in the draft. He would have went 1 if we would have knew everything we know now. It was like Kobe went number 13 in the draft. Like it was just some kid from Pennsylvania. It was really good. But knowing what we know now, yeah, Kobe goes 1. He's the number 1 pick. Like nobody at that time, it was one case that was being processed out of hundreds and hundreds that night in New York. It wasn't like we look at it like, oh my God, Trump and all this. That stuff came later. Like when these kids are going through this, being interrogated, it's just another case. It's weird that your dad would tell you to say you raped somebody under those circumstances too. Because we know he wouldn't have if it would have been this big and Al Sharpton and everybody, the eyes of the world would have been watching. Of course you wouldn't have said you did something, because you would have had to, you know what I mean? Like you wouldn't have, but just weird. And that's just strange. It's strange. And I'm not saying anything, it's just strange. Black fathers get a bad rap, but golly, man. I don't know, man. Get in the comment section.